Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matthew back with another episode of Watty's channel. Yes, we are still secluding ourselves in the corner, and it's probably going to be like this until we get this area of the room corrected. And once everything is fixed up, I can start moving the shelves and everything back into place. Now, at that time, I don't know what to do with this shelf over here. Yeah, I've added a few things to kind of add more wall space, but I'm not going to be able to keep it that way. Reason being, I still want these movie shelves where I hold the LJN figures. I still want to put them over here in the corner. So the goal is to kind of slide it underneath either the third or fourth shelf, depending on how much space I have right above it. I'm thinking I'll probably have 3 shelves, and then the DVD shelves, media shelves, whatever you want to call it, where I'll slide the LJN on those shelves under there. The other goal is to possibly just continue using these planks, and I really like that. That really looks really sharp. Not only am I able to put everything face forward, but it gives me so much more space than what the media shelves allow. Now they're nice shelves, but I think I could have possibly moved them out of here and into a spare bedroom or something if the need arises. We'll see what happens with those, but that's probably going to be weeks from now when that happens. So this video, we are going to review some of the new Mark Hackenberg custom LJN figures. It's been a while since I made one for him. I love doing these shout out videos with these special talents, these great customizers, and I got a whole horde of figures in about a week or so ago, and I'm really excited about making this video. So the very first figure we're going to look at, I'm going to look at them based on series, or I have the figures based on series, so how they're set up on my shelves over there, it's kind of like how I set up the customs as well. So what has become my new favorite version of the Series 1 Andre the Giant? And you might think it's just a relatively simple paint job, but that don't matter to me. It looks amazing, and I couldn't be more thrilled to own it. And it is what I classify kind of as like the Jakks Classic Superstars version, with blue trunks and red boots, white laces. I mean, look at that. Just kind of look at the Jakks Classic Superstars, right? I mean, look how perfectly that meshes well. That is so amazing. In fact, I think if this color scheme were part of the original LJN line, this Andre the Giant could potentially be the #1 best LJN figure in my entire collection. I'm telling you guys, if I ever get the opportunity, I said I was never going to do a second tournament, and I did. And halfway through that tournament, I'm like excited about doing a third tournament. So there's a good opportunity I do that tournament again. I probably won't spend a lot of time talking about playability and back history and all that stuff, but I am looking forward to possibly doing that sometime in the future, whether it's 6 months from now, a year, what have you. Might be longer, who knows. But I'm going to have some really amazing figures to partake in that event. And if I did a tournament again, I'm going to switch it up anyways. I'm not going to do it based on how they sit on the shelves. I'm just going to pick a name out of a hat type of deal and do it that way. Literally luck of the draw. Alright, so I got some notes here from Mark, and I wanted to kind of go over them while I'm talking about the figures. A lot of these events and stuff, these history, these storylines and whatnot. Mark is kind of like me in the mindset where we'd like the figures to line up for a particular cause. Whether it's a competition they participated in, a tag team during a certain era, etc. And so he has some notes here, and I'm going to go over them as we talk about specific figures. So he says Hogan and Andre is from the 1980s showdown at Shea. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, you got your phone in front of you, Google that. That should be pretty interesting. So he did have the Hogan figure. Before I looked at the Hogan, I want to bring up the original. So one of the most beautiful figures you'll ever find is the LJN Hogan original. And I love the way that he kind of upgraded the figure. Now, by first visual inspection, you might think, well, it's identical. But it really isn't. For starters, you kind of see it with like the Hillbilly Gym, for example. They with the blue coveralls, they make everything blue. They don't really give it any definition. Same thing with the boots for Hogan. You know, there's just yellow throughout. So Mark did go in and make that upgrade. Not only updated the boots, but also added those white shoelaces in there to make it really beautiful. And man, I'm really digging the whole the little brace up here that he's got. It's not a wristband, elbow guard, whatnot. I mean, I think that looks really awesome. I mean, I don't remember Hogan wearing a wrist guard, or I keep calling it a wrist guard, elbow brace, but I mean, doesn't mean that it didn't happen at some point. Again, Showdown and Shay, I didn't have an opportunity to look it up yet, but there's no reason to believe that's not the reason why. And this cape kind of reminds me of like the Thunder Lips type of deal. Of course, it's not the exact as Thunder Lips, but from Rocky 3. But I mean, it works really well. I really love the look of that. That is so awesome. Some of these figures, it's just the simplicity that I love about them. You don't have to be too flashy. There's one figure here that I warn you guys ahead of time. Look away from the screen when you see the figure, because you are going to have eye problems for the rest of the day. All right, so let's see. So next on the itinerary, not on the itinerary, but next up is going to be from Series 2, Paul Orndorff. Here's the interesting thing about Paul Orndorff. It's not a bad looking figure at all. The pose is, you know, average to mediocre. Not exactly, Paul Orndorff isn't exactly my favorite LJN, but it's very customizable and a lot of people use it, and I do have a ton of customs with this pose. So, I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, like I said, it looks great. But they took, and I should have brought the original as reference, but because I'm not using this as a comparable LJN video, I haven't been bringing a lot of the originals off the shelf. But the versions where he's in just a white getup, and what I like is that number 1 for Mr. Wonderful. I mean, he's got it pinned all the way through. Everything that you're looking at is done to perfection to look just like the fighting gear that Paul Orndorff fought in real life. And this is, you know, late 80s, 87, you know, somewhere in that time frame. Good guy, Paul Orndorff, tag team Paul with Hogan just before he turned on him. So this version, I don't know too much about this. Mid-South, Mid-Atlantic, 82 to 83 era. Again, I had to get the notes from Mark to kind of go over this version because it's a little bit before I was born, so I'm not too familiar with the getup. But I think I've been putting the blue version as my favorite, but man, I mean, the blue and red are pretty much the same. This red, but the black, man, these are all great figures. There really isn't a wrong answer, and they're all done up to perfection. So awesome. Alright, I looked at the figure. Gotta give me a second to look away. You know how when you're playing your video games, you're playing like Xbox or something, or like, you know, playing these video games too long or looking at the screen for too long is going to give you seizures. Well, I'm just looking at the camera right now, and I'm already getting a seizure from this t-shirt. Don Morocco in very well possibly the coolest freaking t-shirt I've ever seen. I mean, this is some crazy LSD stuff right here. That is freaking phenomenal. I cannot brag about this one enough. That is just so awesome. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm getting high just looking at the t-shirt. Oh, man. Let's see if Mark has anything about this particular. All right. Okay, so nothing for that one in particular, but I'm sure he probably wore something like this. Again, I don't remember Don Morocco. I don't know if I ever saw him wrestle as a kid or whatnot. Everything I've seen from him later on came from, in the last couple of years when I started collecting and I wanted to know more about this character. But I would say overall he's before my time, essentially. That shirt, man. I tell you, this entire collection that I got from Mark, this one figure alone was worth all the money. It is just so solid. All right. From around 1985 onward, or around that time frame, that era, we get this Don Morocco with white shirt, and I think Robert Jackson had a very similar figure like this on his site months and months ago, and I talked about it. I don't know if I forgot about it, had my phone in hand and got distracted, and then the thing ran down and I couldn't put in one final bid and I lost out. I think it sold for like $40 or $50 or something, and for this figure I would have gone there, man. It's awesome. Mark gave me an absolutely fantastic deal on this figure. He gave me a great deal on all these figures, so I'm super excited to have gotten this whole horde of figures. They got like this little tidal wave. I don't know if you can really make out the design of the figure. Try not to look into the screen of my head, but that is just so good. Do I like it better than the LSD shirt? They're both awesome. I mean, let's just put it that way, but the LSD shirt is real. I mean, that's just trippy right there. All right. From 1982. This is a very similar figure compared to what we got from the original LJN. So, forget the black shirt Don Morocco that you would get. This is a more impressive version. So think 82 Pedro Morales competition where they battle for the Intercontinental Championship. You know what? It meshes well with the black shirt, but from what I'm hearing, again, because I'm very unfamiliar with the character overall, everything I've learned about a lot of these characters from LJN are either through research or, hearing stories from other collectors or whatnot, and, kind of learning about them that way. This is more of the version that you would find with the Don Morocco. Because it's very reminiscent, and I like the black shirt a little bit better, but, it's all they had to do was change one thing on the figure, and, it made it its own complete different character or different figure, and that's enough for me. And again, they make those upgrades where necessary, and Don Morocco. I wasn't expecting to get so many Don Moroccos at once, or Paul Orders for that matter, but they all just kind of fell into my lap. I'm like, heck yeah. All right. So this one is basically just a repeat of the original. So not just kind of looking it over. I don't see any major changes. Terry Funk. So one of the things that I've noticed right off the bat is the little red, I don't know what those are. They look like little cords or like little stitches or something in the side of his chaps here. Now I believe that's different. I believe on the original LJN it's just straight green. So this is a repaint of Terry Funk. Throw in the accessories, good looking hat, and add this little poncho. This poncho right here. Oh man, I got a new a Terry Funk fig. In fact, once I conclude this video, I am going to do another video that was recommended to me, and I'm gonna start with Terry Funk, and so I'm excited about making that, and I'm gonna show a couple of these off as well because I don't have too many Terry Funk figures, and I'll talk more about that when I make that video. Terry Funk this LJN has never been my favorite LJN. I always thought it was like a very bottom tier version, but once I got the branding iron on top of the hat, 'cause I had the hat from Wrestling Wire when I bought the original version from him, but I never had the branding iron, not until like 6 months ago or so when I finally got one in, and it changed my opinion of the figure so much. Like I went from like a bottom tier, maybe 50 out of 72 figures or however many LJN originals there are, to like maybe number 30 or something. So accessories, they do make a huge difference overall when you're looking at action figures. And the simple fact that he just made simple upgrades to the chaps, added the poncho, he actually looks like one of the it's not elite, it might be one of the elite figures, but it's one of the more expensive Terry Funk figures. Off the top of my head, it's killing me, I can't remember it, but I'll bring it up shortly in the next video. Well, shortly for me, not so much shortly for you guys. It's probably going to be days later when you finally see that video, but Terry Funk. This one here is yet another repaint. So this one is something that he wore, I guess, in different type of house shows, and when you first glance at it, it looks like the exact same figure, but the the Billy Jack Haynes with the original LJN comes with yellow trunks, and so they just kind of swap things with yellow and green, and there's a few upgrades here to the boots, laces all around, so throw in the little hat accessory. As you guys know, based on my most recent rating video of LJN originals, Billy Jack Haynes is number 11 on my list of all-time favorite action figures, all-time favorite LJNs, that is. All-time favorite LJN originals. Gotta do the little dance. And I think I kind of messed that video up anyways because I didn't add in Rick Martel, which I should have, because Rick Martel would probably be 11, 12, 13 or something. I haven't made a video for 21 onwards, so that's another video that I have to make. I swear I got like 30 videos in my head right now that I'm trying to make, and today I'm gonna make about 4 or 5 videos today, so I'm getting there. But man, I don't want to do these all in this spot. I want to wait till the room is completed, and that way I can add some, but I still need to make some videos for you guys. Billy Jack Haynes, again, not a huge difference, just a repaint based on the trunks and boots, little designs here and there. Beautiful figure. Now this one I was really excited about. So you remember the original Harley race? He comes with he comes with like a purple jacket, but it's like a very, I'm trying to think of the right color, like a plum purple. And this is another repaint, but it is an absolutely gorgeous color or shade of purple. And I'm trying to look at the original. His boots actually look blue on the original, where they went all purple all around. Again, plum knee pads. Here they darkened the purple. Just made an absolutely gorgeous piece all around. And you might think, hey, just a simple repaint, but this isn't simple, guys. Trust me. I tried painting a Big John stud, and just simply changing his pants from white to just pure black was hard enough. At least for me it was. But for talented artists like this, I'm sure that, this was not easy, but I'm sure enjoyable. This I think is just a shade behind the LSD Don Morocco as my favorite current acquisition. I don't know. I think of all the Mark figures, I think I still like the Nikolai Volkov custom repaint as still my favorite. But man, this is truly remarkable. And we're at 20 minutes, so yeah, that sounds about fair. 20-minute video, 25 minutes. I mean, I don't want to rush through these. I want to give Mark the opportunity to really get as much recognition for his figures as possible. And of course, if anybody wants to reach out to him, you know, I'm sure he could take commissions. Let me see. Harley Race. All right, so I'm just reading notes from Mark here. It says Harley Race is from the Royal Rumble '89 when he fought Haku over who gets to be king of the WWF. The crown on the trunks is purposely off-centered because it was on his trunks for some reason. Oh, that's awesome. Like I said, man, I love learning from other collectors and other artists and stuff. Just kind of learning the history of certain things. Until I started the LJN collections, I never knew about Harley Race. At least I don't think I did. The last figures... Trying to think when I got these, because these didn't come in with this order. This came in a previous order. I'm trying to think when I got these. Anyways, it is the Strike Force, Tito Santana, and Rick Martel. So from John Ruggiero, I already had a Tito Santana Strike Force version, but I got both of the figures because when Mark made these, you don't want to split up Strike Force. And I'm sure he would have had a much more difficult time selling a Tito Santana alone than he would have if he had both figures together. So I wanted to do right by him and purchase both figures at the same time. And yeah, I'll have a Strike Force Tito from Mark. I have another Strike Force Tito from John Ruggiero. So I'm okay with that. I already have enough plenty of duplicates. So both are phenomenal figures. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I think why I really messed up when I was doing my rating. This is one of the best fighting poses of the LJN line, and so he deserved to be on the top 20 list, at least the top 15. I mean, most likely top 15, but at the very least top 20. And when I was looking at my shelf, you know, picking out the wrestlers, I saw Tito Santana, but for whatever reason, Martel was kind of hidden behind him, so I didn't pick him out. And when I do the LJN, you know, my 21 through 30 favorite figure, he'll be on that list definitely. So someone think, oh, that's interesting. There's just so many things I love about this figure. The little Thunderbolt Strike Force insignia on the trunks with the little Canadian flag, and even the way that redid the boots. All around, this is just a fantastic figure. You guys all know how huge of a fan I am with my poses, and this is an elite figure. Tito Santana, hate his pose, but absolutely love his figure. And I also like the little sombrero that they put on his trunks, along with the little lightning bolt for the Strike Force, which is so awesome. Yeah, kind of like the same thing as Rick Martel. He's got the Strike Force bolt and redoing the boots. Yeah, I guess if you're a kid, you know, Tito Santana was a very playable figure. I'm kind of looking at his arms because his arms, they don't look like the regular Tito Santana. His arms look like they're out a little bit better. Or maybe I'm so used to thinking about the purple Tito Santana. You know, I want to take a look at the figures because I thought the purple Santana and the white Santana were both the exact same pose. But just looking at this is actually a whole lot better, you know, pose-wise than what I was accustomed to. I think... just kind of show you with the hands, and like I think the purple Santana was like this. Obviously his arms were out, but just, you know, trying to show you what, and it's kind of because I got like this much of a square to show you. And anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. Strike Force, man. Now these are actually good belts. I'm not a huge fan of the laminated belts, but this one has a nice little snap to it, and I love the bulkiness of the middle for tag team champions. So that's really awesome. That's really badass. I like that a lot. All right, so shoot, what was this? The fourth video today. I might want to ask some opinions. Try to get the wife's opinion of how to decorate the room. I would like to go back to the way it was before, but with these shelves here, I can't put the glass shelf with my Hasbro figures back against this wall. I'm thinking where I had the original San Francisco toy makers, the two shelves right there. I'm going to probably put those back where they were. And then this brown shelf over here, which had my Mattel Retros. I'll put that alongside this wall again. But I'm trying to leave the glass doors open. So the wife, she always complains that I block the entrance or exit. But how often, if there's like a fire or anything, are you gonna go out these doors? So I never had a problem blocking them. Not a big deal. We're gonna come down in the basement. We're going out the garage door anyways. So, but I might have to get rid of some shelves. But hey, if you guys have decoration ideas, I mean, shoot, I'm all for it. I'm willing to listen to any type of advice. But that's it for now, guys. We're pushing at 30 minutes, and I want to get this over with before we hit the 30-minute marker. Always, guys, appreciate your viewership and your support. You guys really are the best. And we'll talk to you in the comments. And until next video, goodbye for now.